Okay, so I think I'll begin. Just wanted to say good morning to everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Thomas Mangole. I work at New World Immigration, and I'm joined by Kelly Pritchard, who is the People and Culture Manager at Next Generation. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you have been with me for a few months, and I've always said that me and the team at Next Generation are actually driving this wonderful initiative to basically facilitate and change the landscape in terms of how we do recruitment in the nursing as well as the aged care sector. So for the presentation, I will be beginning with just a broad overview of who we are, what we're doing. And then once I'm done, my colleague and partner, Kelly, will then jump in with her presentation, because I'd first of all love to say I love the fact that we're working with a team at Nurse Generation. They have a long, proud history, and they've been in the industry for a long time. So Kelly, I'm sure you will expand more when the time comes in terms of what your team are all about and what this partnership and collaboration means to everyone. And just to everyone as well, if you do have any questions, just leave them in the chat. Kelly and myself would also love to interact with you all. So yeah, if you do have any questions, please leave them on the chat. But I'll just proceed with the presentation and let's get this going, guys. I'm just going to do a screen share. Just a moment. I just want to do a screen share. There we go. And please let me know if everyone can see that on screen. I'm assuming everyone can see that on screen, hey? Just give me a hands up if you can.
Yes, I can see that.
All right, wonderful. Wonderful. And is this visible to everyone?
Yes, Mole, I can see it as well.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for confirming. So, hi, Teresa, you had a question? Morning, Teresa. All right, so let us go on because I have to admit everyone. Just give me a moment, hey? All right. All right, so guys, thank you so much once again to everyone for making the time for this webinar. I'm joined by my colleague from Australia, Kelly Pritchard from Nurse Generation. She is the People and Culture Manager over at Nurse Generation. And my name is Thomas Mangola. I'm an immigration executive and I'm a recruitment specialist as well. I've been with New World Immigration for the past 5 years. And New World Immigration is an agency based in Cape Town, and we've been doing skilled migration, helping families as well as skilled professionals to immigrate to Australia for the past 12 years with much success. So who are we as an organization? So we were established in 2012, founded by my wonderful, wonderful manager and CEO, Robbie Reckless. We are located in Cape Town, South Africa. And we've helped over 5,000 families with relocation to Australia over the past 12 years. And that's confirmed by the fact that we are the leading immigration consultancy in Africa. So what do we bring to the party, everyone? So the purpose of this webinar is to, of course, let everyone know in the room that our partnership with Next Generation is simply to assist your aged care workers, enrolled nurses, and registered nurses with employment in Australia through our partner, Next Generation. Just to break things up a bit, so the roles that we play together as a partnership, our job, guys, in this partnership is to find the candidates who would like to immigrate, who want job opportunities in Australia, and also guide you from an immigration point of view in terms of making sure everything is above board, in terms of what you as a candidate or candidates needs to be legally employed in Australia. And for Kelly and her team at Nurse Generation, what that contribution will be to the partnership is they will be sourcing the talent seekers who are looking to employ those in the aged care sector, enrolled as well as registered nurses with job opportunities in Australia. So what we do best as New World Immigration, as the leading immigration consultancy in Africa, is we project manage the immigration side of things for the candidates. So everything, guys, from getting you ready in terms of making sure that we assist you with your assessments, we assist you with the visa process, literally from start to finish, holding your hand and guiding you throughout the whole process. And of course, there's full transparency from us in terms of the moment you decide to partner with us in this journey to achieve your dreams of actually working and living in Australia. And I felt it important that we obviously highlight our accreditations. To practice immigration in Australia, you do need to be fully MARA registered, and those are our registration details. And you can all find them fully directly on our website. Now, this is the most important, I feel, in terms of for you as candidates who would love to work and live in Australia, just to illustrate the processes of what you need to go through. Now, I know that most, if not all of the candidates in this webinar have completed both our English and skills assessment. Some of you have already completed your APRA registration. So the process of working and living in Australia is simple as follows. So to be employed in Australia, my team and I in New World Immigration will actually project manage these processes for you as candidates. So the first thing that's important is you need to have your overseas qualifications assessed in Australian healthcare standards. And that's through what we call a skills assessment. And the second most important thing that you need as candidates is you need to complete your English language assessment. This, of course, to prove your proficiency as a skilled professional in English, because we are going to work in an English-speaking country. What I'd love to bring your attention to next would be the APRA registration. Obviously, this registration is designed for any healthcare professional who would actually love to practice in Australia. It's an important part because that's what allows you to actually practice as a registered healthcare provider in Australia. So these two processes needs to be done before Kelly and her team can come in, of course, and then present yourselves as candidates to the talent seekers in Australia. So once that process is done, New World Immigration will project manage the work permit application. So we'll be responsible for document collection, document verification, collation of your documents, and submission of your work permit to the Australian government. Like I said, us as well as the team at Nurse Generation, we have really a route to branch system where we take care of our candidates from the time they decide to partner with us right up until the time that they are in Australia. And Kelly will expand a bit more on what her team will do with regards to relocation at a later stage. But just leave you with the impression, everyone, that we will be taking care of you essentially from start to finish until such time that you and your families are settled in Australia. So another question would be, what do we actually do? And how does this look for us as candidates? So we offer full visa support for the candidates. So we guide you through every stage of the visa process, from paperwork to final approval. Of course, with recruitment assistance, that will come directly from our partners at Next Generation. And Kelly will be kind of project managing and driving that forward. I touched a bit on relocation. Now, Kelly and her team have a relocation package, and she will speak and expand more on it when she does her presentation. And there is on-arrival support, of course, part of what we're doing, guys, is we want to also ensure that as skilled professionals, that when you get to Australia, you do have that support to help you when you initially arrive. Because let's be honest, it can be difficult, of course, moving to a new country. You need as much support, as much assistance as possible. And that's the reason that we personally love, and I personally love, the collaboration with the team at Nurse Generation, with Kelly and her team, because they are really passionate about ensuring that not only do you get to Australia with a job, but that you get that on arrival support and assistance to ensure longevity and, of course, continuing where you are employed. I know most of you will not have seen this, guys. So, and it's very important in terms of how we manage immigration. So what you're looking at the moment is what's referred to as a client portal. So let's say, as an example, you'd like to come on board and say, guys, I'm interested. We're really keen on doing this. Let's get this started. What you will get as candidates is you will get exclusive rights to your own personalized client portal. This portal is to ensure that there is direct communication between yourselves as well as us as New World Immigration. So you'll be able to track the progress that we're doing with regards to your application. Each of you will get a dedicated Australian immigration case officer who will work with you and project manage your entire application. Once again, not to sound like a broken record, just a moment. I believe I do have to let a few people in. Guys, sorry to interrupt the webinar there. I believe we can go back. All right. So this is a document management portal and an immigration management portal where when you sign up with us as a client and a candidate, you will get exclusive access to this. And like I mentioned before going off screen, you will also get direct assistance with your own dedicated Australian immigration case officer who will project manage the application for you from start to finish. So wherever you're based from, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in Africa, we can work with all candidates from around the world through the utilization of this platform. And like I said, if you have any questions about the topics discussed, please feel free to drop it on the comment section. And myself and Kelly will try to get to as much questions as possible. So how do you stay in control with our immigration portal? Once again, expanding on the client portal. So step number one, you're able to upload, submit, and track documents in real time. The second benefit of staying in control of your immigration process is you are able to communicate directly with your personal case manager. And of course, the third benefit as well, guys, is you receive notification for key milestones and deadlines. For instance, with regards to something like your skills assessment, you will receive a milestone once it's completed to let you know that now we've gone through the step, we can proceed on to the other step. And of course, directly on the portal, my team and I are working with Kelly and her team at Nurse Generation to kind of include the relocation package in the client portal. Not done yet, hopefully something in future where you'll be able to access the relocation package that the team at Nurse Generation has and kind of see what suits you as a candidate in terms of what they have to offer. We also have a built-in calendar to plan and track your entire move. So one thing that gives you as candidates is complete control over the immigration process. And like I mentioned on one of the first slides, it's literally full transparency. So we let you know where things are and we work with you, like I mentioned, from start to finish to ensure that everything is done on time. And at the end of the day, you do get to emigrate and live out your dreams of working and living in Australia. So that is just a brief synopsis of the immigration portal. And once we get started, like I mentioned, each of the candidates will have access to be able to track their immigration journey with us. So what are the next steps? Of course, for those who have not done their skills and English assessments, you can speak with myself personally to come on board as our client, have you assigned an immigration case officer, do the documentation, and then of course Kelly and her team will come in with step 4 there, which is when they will schedule the interviews with the talent seekers from Australia. Once you've secured the employment, then my team and I will of course then work on the visa approval. And once the visa has been approved, you're on your way to Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was my presentation. I hope you found it all insightful. And I think now I'll give over to my colleague, Kelly, because she has a planned presentation, of course, that she would love to share with you all.
Excellent. Let's hope I can get it up and running. So let's see, it should. All right. So can everyone see that at the moment? You can.
Yep.
Wonderful. And I'm just going to change my own view slightly just so I've got my notes in front of me. So I can't actually see your faces or reactions. So Thomas, if you wouldn't mind just flagging if someone put something in the chat for me, that would be amazing. So thank you, Thomas, for your warm welcome. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I know it's very early for you. It's later in the afternoon for me, so I've had a chance to have a few coffees. Really excited to speak with you all today and talk a bit about Nurse Generation, our global offering, and our partnership with New World Immigration. I do have a bit of a cough and a croaky voice today, so I hope I don't end up coughing through this. But if I pop myself on mute, I'm just trying to save you from hearing about it. But look, as Thomas has done, we're going to run through a bit about who we are, what we do, what does this partnership look like, what does that look like for you going through the process, and again, like Thomas has said, have some time for questions at the end. So I will jump on to the next slide, and of course it's not letting me move. Always, isn't it? I've used Zoom, I've used Teams, I've used everything else. So why not, I'm just going to stop sharing, and I'm just going to open up my slide again and close it, and then that might help me. So just bear with me, everyone. I do apologize. I really want to be able to share this with you all. Okay, what are we seeing? Are we seeing...
Actually seeing the full outlook. So what I think you do, Kelly, is you click on the present button and then you actually go to the presentation itself, click on PowerPoint, and then have the full screen. Yeah, and then you have the full screen.
I thought I did in the first case, but that's okay. Let me try again. I am so sorry. So I've got it open. Let me just pop it over here. Goodness gracious me. Thomas, if I'm having trouble, would you have mine there? I hate to be a real pest and pain. I'm just got a bit worried about. I'll try one more time.
Not a problem. Yeah, not a problem, Kelly. I have it on my side. I'll just open for you, then you can let me know when you actually love me to change screens.
You're amazing.
Welcome.
Look at that.
Welcome.
I've got him doing the job for me this afternoon, everyone. My apologies, Thomas.
No,
excellent. And look at I'm Kelly. I work for Nurse Gen. I am based in Brisbane, which is in Queensland in Australia, obviously. We do have a bit of a rainy day. We're typically a sunny place here, but it is a bit of a rainy day today. So I'm hoping that doesn't impact our connection. But let's jump on to the next slide, the Who is Nurse Generation, if that's okay, Thomas.
All right, just let me do the presentation. I'll just be with you in a moment. So
thanks. Sorry, I'm just nervous. It's not going to work for me.
Can everyone see that though?
It's similar to before. It's the actual PowerPoint rather than the one screen.
Just give me a moment.
Thanks everyone for your patience. You blame me. I'm the one with the lack of tech nous. While we're doing that, has anyone ever been to Australia before in the chat? No? Obviously all interested in coming to Australia.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't. Yeah. So Jasmine hasn't been. I did see a name Tendai in there. I have to say we have a Tendai in one of our teams. So I don't know if all Tendais are cool people, but we have one in our team already.
Sorry for interrupting. Kelly, how does that look on your side now?
It's still the whole PowerPoint. Yeah.
That's very strange, eh? Because it shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Oh, well, at least if I'll get you to click on each one as we go, that might help. So
All right,
if you,
cool.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind just physically clicking on slide 2, we'll
Yeah.
get going. Yeah.
All right. So there we go.
Okay, so we could still see the first one. Could you click on slide 2, the who is nurse generation?
I'm actually on slide 2. Is it not coming up your side?
No. Yeah. There we go. Beautiful.
Okay.
That
All right.
works. Excellent. All right, so thank you. So who is Nurse Generation? So we are an Australian-owned and operating organisation. We've been in operation, NurseGen itself, just under 2 years. We are a remote business and we have team members all over Australia. We are aged care specialists, so everything we do relates to aged care. It's our industry of focus, and everyone in our team comes from some form of aged care background or capacity. When we look at the permanent recruitment solutions and temporary solutions, what I'm talking about there are the current services we offer to domestically based individuals. So when we look at the services we currently offer, that's generally, permanent recruitment or temporary staffing solutions to people already in Australia that are suitably skilled and experienced. So that is permanent recruitment for any job in aged care, or from a temporary perspective, it could be doing agency shifts, it could be doing block contracts or travel nursing. But what we're here today about, what we're really excited about, is our entry into international recruitment. So that's hence our partnership with the wonderful Thomas and his team, and our entry into helping solve a really big gap and a future problem that our industry has in Australia. You'll note I've referenced Health Generation there. So Health Generation is Nurse Generation's sister company. If anything, they're probably more our mother company because they've been established for 7 years. They're aged care consultancy company, and it's through Health Generation that Nurse Generation was created as a separate business, and it was based on the conversations and feedback that they had with all the different aged care providers around Australia about solving some problems within the industry. So the reason I bring up HealthGen is just to let you know that we do have established credibility within the market in Australia, and that we will be leveraging not only our Nurse Generation contacts and networks, but our Health Generation contacts and networks as well. Thomas, could I get you to jump to the next screen, the who are we? Excellent. So who are we? So this is more of our, leadership team. So we have Heath Downey, who's our director. So he's a founding member of Health Generation, which then obviously is a founding member of Nurse Generation. He leads up our client partner team. So they're our sales guys, basically, a team of 6 or so team members that are doing, as the very nature of their job, selling. So they're selling all of our services. They're speaking and meeting and traveling to and seeing aged care providers all over Australia as their job. So he's very focused on obviously promoting our new service. He's been in aged care from a leadership and a sales perspective for about 10 years. We have Bianca McBride next to him. Now, she is our CEO, and she is also one of the founding members of Health Generation, and then, of course, one of the founding members of Nurse Generation. And she has been working in aged care from an operational and a leadership perspective for about 10 years as well. Next to Bianca, we have Ching Ling. It's a real name, I promise you. She is our Chief Experience Officer, and basically her job is to be constantly reflective on our processes and protocols, and are we focused on doing the right thing for the people we work with and the people we work for. She is a registered nurse, she's a business analyst, and she's been working in aged care for, I think, 12 years. Then there's me, so I'm the People and Culture Manager for Nurse Generation. I also work across Health Generation. I'll give away my age here, Thomas. I'm obviously an old lady because I've been in recruitment 18 years, and I've been in aged care specifically the past 6 years, which has been really rewarding for me. We have next to me Ken. So Ken is is our business developer. He is also a registered nurse. He is a specialist in ANAC, which is the funding tool in Australia, and he is actually the developer of a lot of our services. So he's very good at understanding gaps in the market and then putting together full business processes. And he's been pretty much the mastermind of Global, and I have the privilege to help drive that. So, Thomas, could I get you to move to the next screen, please? Excellent. So this is our vision. Before I get to the vision, though, I really want to set a scene about aged care in Australia. And some of this you may already know, but it will just give you an idea of where we're at the moment. So there's been quite a lot of challenge and quite a lot of change. If we look at the history in the past 5 or 6 years in aged care in Australia, we did have in around 2018, 2019, a royal commission into aged care. And that was a result of only a couple of bad aged care providers doing the wrong thing, but it did point the spotlight on the industry as a whole, which ultimately is a good thing. We want to make sure everyone is doing the right thing by their staff and by their residents. They did also have new standards. So the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission released new standards, which was again change. We then had COVID, which obviously the whole world had COVID. We were all impacted, but it created a lot of pressure in the health industries. We then had a change from the funding model from ACFI to ANAC. We are now in the process of introducing a new Aged Care Act and new standards once again, and they have introduced care minutes. So care minutes, interestingly, at a very high level is basically saying each resident, they are deserving of a certain number of minutes of care each day from different people in the aged care home. So they might need a certain number of minutes from a registered nurse, direct care, certain number of minutes of direct care from a AIN or a carer, and then other team members. So basically it means that they have all these minutes they have to fill, and you have to have enough staff to do that, enough people to deliver that care. And that is putting pressure on the industry because we are obviously already dealing with a shortage. So in short, my apologies, our vision is to create a global workforce service that is specialised for the aged care industry, that is creating long-lasting, permanent solutions, providing talented, amazing people like yourselves, RNs, ENs, carers, into opportunities in Australia, and working with amazing partners like New World Immigration, Thomas and his team. So, Thomas, do you mind jumping onto the next slide for me? I feel bad. I'll have to send you a coffee somehow from Australia. So, partnership, what does this partnership look like, and where do we play in this process? So obviously New World Immigration, they're the experts of what they do. They've been doing it. I had 15 years, Thomas, but obviously it's 12 plus years. We're very excited to partner and align ourselves with them. They have, based on their thorough processes, their expertise, their knowledge, their history of success, really excited to partner, including the portal. Very impressed with the portal. That is amazing for all of us in our process. But I guess if we step back and we look at aged care in general, in Australia, the current workforce is made up of individuals from all over the world. It's a very multicultural workforce. We're very fortunate to have the people working in aged care now, because if we didn't, we would be in big trouble. We are an aging, greying population. People are getting older and living longer, and there's more people that require care. We have to look at the aged care market. It is a hard market to crack. It really is. They've had a lot of challenge and change, and they're not always interested in new change or things that they might perceive as difficult. I think we all know that, New World Immigration make things absolutely easy and amazing, but there's been providers or aged care homes having to go through the process, and it's been too hard, it's been too daunting. They've given up, they don't have the expertise, they don't have the support, and they don't have the knowledge. So where does NurseGen or Global NurseGen come into this? we already have established relationships with aged care providers all over Australia. We've been already having these conversations through Nurse Gen, Health Gen. We're able to kind of be a bit of a middleman and help connect wonderful talent like yourselves with the support of New World Immigration to these aged care homes that have these challenges, that have these gaps. And that's what we're really wanting to do, to be an Australian-based kind of connector to help everyone come together. I should say, we're obviously, experiencing a shortage right now, and they're feeling the pressure now, but they have actually predicted that by 2030, we will have a shortfall of 110,000 aged care workers. So that's what, 5 years, 5 years away, and that's scary. Where are we going to get all these 110,000 people? And that's where this solution is. We have to be connecting with wonderful talent all over the world and helping bring them to Australia if that's what they're wanting to do. Could I jump to the next one, please, Thomas? Excellent. So how does it how does it work? So if we look at this little circle or cycle, there's a range of different steps that we'll be running through at all different times continuously. But the first one starts with the sales and promotion. So we do have a dedicated team of client partners, about 6 individuals that are doing the work already, doing the calls, the meetings, they're traveling. They spend about 2 weeks of the month out visiting clients all over Australia. We also have other sales and marketing activity underway. The goal is we will get orders from our aged care providers. So they'll put in an order to us, basically saying what they need. They might have some specific requests around certain levels of experience and such. We will get that order. We will then go to Thomas and his team and say, this is what we're looking for. They will reach out to their database and provide us with suitable options in terms of profiles or resumes. We will then present those resumes to the client or the aged care home. We want to encourage them to interview everyone that we supply, and that would be our dream. Obviously, we are bound by what their choices are, but then we will help in scheduling that interview, being mindful of the time zone differences. Basically, from that point, once that interview is scheduled, we want to support you, set you up for success. So there's going to be a bit of information that we provide you, some workbooks, some guidelines, some detailed information that kind of cover a range of different things, like how to prepare for an interview. I mean, a lot of this stuff you probably already know, but it's always good to have handy. It will have information about aged care in Australia, what to expect. What does aged care in Australia look like? Who are the key players in leadership in an aged care home? What are the different shifts and the different types of responsibilities? And a lot of this stuff might be very similar to what you do already, but just in case it is different, it's good to have that information available to you. Now, one of the other workbooks we will give you is basically, and it's a lot of information, I will say, but we'll give it to you ahead of time. And we've basically put together all the possible questions that an aged care home might ask you in an interview. Now, we don't know exactly what they're going to ask you, but with our combined experience, we've kind of put together all the possible types of questions. We've put together some links to helpful websites, Department of Health and Ageing, Aged Care Quality Standards, CSRS, and we give you that information. Again, you might know a lot of this already. It's good to have a review. We will then book a clinical coaching session with you, which would be over Teams at a time that suits us both, probably in the afternoon like now, or the morning for you, and we'll run through that workbook again. You might be all across it, you might only have a few questions. Whatever you want to cover, we will cover. The goal is making sure you feel ready and supported ahead of your interview. So then we'll have the interviews. So ideally, there's a number of interviews conducted. So we'll be waiting for outcomes, and we'll provide outcomes to both, New World Immigration and yourselves. I have to say, look, if for any reason you go to an interview and you're not successful, or you decide it's not the right opportunity for you, maybe it doesn't feel the right fit, that's okay. Because in reality, we could present 3 amazing, equally talented people And there is only one job in that instance. So only one person can get it. So what I'm trying to get at is you have both Nurse Generation and New World Immigration's commitment to continue looking at opportunities. So if we're not successful, we'll get some feedback, we move on. We find the next best fit. But if we are successful in the interview, then that's obviously when we move into that next stage where Thomas and his team are going to bring all their expertise and support. We get the compliance, we get the contract. That's when they start their immigration process, and we keep connected through that. So I think both Nurse Gen and New World Immigration offer relocation support. So our goal is to give you as much information to make that transition as easy as possible and smooth as possible. So for now, we've developed kind of a high-level Australian guidebook, but as we have new clients sign on, we're going to make specific information for each of those locations. So everything's a little bit more specific for you. There will be a standard free relocation opportunity that we'll give everybody, and then there will potentially be a more higher level relocation support that's offered at a paid amount, but that's obviously up to you and something to think about down the track. We do have integration support, so our goal is to get you there safely, get you settled, start in your new role, and we will support you, and that's our standard arrangement for that first 3 months, just really make sure that you're happy in your new home, in your new country, and in your new role. So for us, it is really about supporting you, because look, moving to a whole new country can be a bit daunting. It is a big deal. I did it myself only for a year. I did it when I was much younger, so it obviously can involve a lot more if you're dealing with partnerships and families as well. So we really want to make sure that you're supported. So in summary, I guess the contact, if you're going ahead with these opportunities with us, it will be some contact around scheduling the interview, providing you with all the information to support you with that interview, conducting that coaching session to make sure you're feeling well prepared, keeping you updated as we get outcomes from the client, staying connected with you through, the immigration process. Obviously, you'll be heavily connected to Thomas and his team, giving you support through the relocation. And then once you start, staying connected to make sure that you're feeling, happy and healthy in your new adventure in Australia. Thomas, can I get you to jump to the next one, please? Excellent, thank you. So what's next? I guess, firstly, I wanted to say thank you for your patience, because I think as Thomas alluded to earlier, some of you might have been aware of our partnership with New World Immigration. We've been working really diligently. We like to do things properly, so there's been a lot of time and energy and focus in getting all the right processes and protocol in place, all the right legal processes and diligence, and we're so excited to say we have launched. We want to make sure we do things smart and efficiently, and we do things with the wonderful people like you in mind. So yes, we have launched. Very exciting. We've already got, as I might have already mentioned, the client partner team working on it. We've had articles, advertisements in a couple of or several well-known aged care publications in Australia, where we've got a 6-month, a 12-month sales and marketing plan. There's lots going on, and I guess what I can say is, we know that the aged care market can be very hard to crack, and you've really got to build that trust. But this is an investment that we've all made at Nurse Generation into our new service global. So we want this to be successful, and that's what we're working really hard to do. What I should mention too is I was in talks with Thomas around how do we best get the attention of some of our clients when they get lots of emails, they get lots of calls, and that's through promoting you guys. So one of the ideas that we're talking about, and of course this will only be with your agreement, and we would work through all the proper processes, but it would be great to actually promote you directly to our clients. So that's, let's say, for example, a photo, just your first name, a little summary of your experience and background, maybe a quote about, your experience, why you want to work in aged care, why you enjoy working in aged care, why you want to come to Australia. And we will make them into a beautifully designed email all kinds of collateral, and then we can send that to our clients. Because I think what will really cut through some of that noise is that these are real people. You are real people with real experience, and you want to come to Australia. And our aged care providers and our clients, they are dealing with some real challenges and gaps. And I think by connecting the two will really help us in this journey. But that's a little bit about us. I hope I wasn't speaking too quickly to stop myself coughing. The next screen is just about, did you have any questions? So maybe we'll open it up to both. I can see in the chat there's been a few questions for Thomas or New World Immigration, as well as maybe for us. Did I miss anything in the chat, Thomas, about Nurse Gen?
I do not believe so, Kelly, because I'm in the chat right now. I've been answering a few questions from the candidates, but nothing really from Nurse Gen. But once again, thank you so thank you so much for that lovely presentation. So I think what Kelly mentioned would be correct. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to let us know. We'll have a Q&A for about 20 minutes or so before we wrap everything up. Thank you once again, Kelly. Really enjoyed that.
Oh, I'm glad. A bit croaky.
So Kelly, one of the questions, I believe it was, let me just have a look here.
In terms of the roles,
Philip
maybe?
asked, yeah, I think for the roles, like what roles are we looking for at the moment? If you'd like to expand a bit more on those.
Yeah, so okay, I guess it's through the registered nurses, enrolled nurses, and carers. I will say, and we're focused on all, but I think a lot of that hunger in the market is probably going to be for registered nurses at the moment. But as with care minutes, if I can tell you, there's going to be penalties around not meeting care minutes a little later in the year. So there's going to be definitely a need for all of those roles moving forward. So your carers, and when we say carers, we mean, because they can have different names in different states, but they're all the same. They're assistant in nursing, personal care assistant, they could be called personal care worker. Usually that individual that provides the assisted daily living and support, showering, dressing, helping with feeding within that aged care, role. So that's that. And then ENs and RNs are what we're focused on from a international recruitment perspective.
Yeah, thank you so much for expanding on that. And just a question from Shruti from myself. She says, hi, Thomas. I'm also interested in the registered nurse job opportunities that sponsor a 482 visa. So definitely, I believe, Kelly, I'm not speaking out of turn, or I'm saying we'll be able to assist Shruti as well with regards to that. But I do want to expand one thing to everyone. So when we say sponsorship, we don't mean that the employer will pay for everything, guys. It must be understood. So what they will be offering would be a job. In certain instances, they might choose to cover, let's say, the cost of the visa for you. But please don't let it be an expectation like, listen, the employer will pay for everything. We'll just sit here while everyone else does the work. You have to come to the party as well in terms of letting the employer know that, listen, I'm also committed to making this move. I'm willing to put my heart and money into ensuring that I do take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. So I hope it kind of sheds light on the term sponsor and what that means.
And that's probably my fault, Thomas. I probably use that a bit loosely. So thank you for clarifying that. And look, I think it's a really good point, because every client might have a different appetite for what they're looking for and what they're able to do. And having that flexibility is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So Philip again asked Kelly, I think this one for you, is there a relocation package and accommodation?
So not as in terms of accommodation and package, that again will be very specific to our clients if they're open to it. It's not something we can guarantee, if I'm being really honest with you, but it can come down to a lot of different variables. So, we're probably looking at, there's a shortage all over Australia, but it's probably going to be remote, regional, smaller homes, homes that are smaller providers that have never done this type of thing and need that support that are open to it. And it depends. I know in some cases we might be able to negotiate something like that. And in some cases, clients are happy to. It's probably safe to come in with the expectation of, look, I can probably support myself through that. If it's something that you need, we can flag it, but we also don't want to necessarily discount you from the process early on. You know, we want to just present your profile, your background, all your wonderful experience, get their interest, get the interview, and hopefully get an offer. So I think in short, it's something we can ask for. We can't guarantee it. It's probably best in your mind to prepare to pay for those things yourself. But we certainly offer relocation support in terms of getting you all the right information, you know, linking you with all the right people and connections with the community to make it a smooth transition. Thomas, was there anything I missed there?
Not really. So the next question would be for me. So how long will it take from the interview to the actual placement? So once you've got the offer of employment in your hand, it'll obviously be on our team to now start processing and doing the application for the 482 work permit. So generally, in terms of our years of experience, we've had approvals that have taken 1 month. I'd say the maximum amount of time in terms of processing for the 482 would be 3 months from the time that you receive the actual job offer to the time that we process the work permit to be in Australia. Give it maximum period of around 3 months or so. Kelly, another one for you. Runaka says on positions, she did her skills assessment with the Australian Care Workers Association. And do you have positions for disabled and aged carers?
So we are, and look, there's lots of different definitions, like we said before in Australia. So we are focusing only on aged care homes or aged care facilities. So, you know, a building with residents living in there that need the full-time care. We don't at this stage work in community or disability. In an aged care home, you might find some younger people who happen to live there. By younger, I might mean 50 or 60. I don't mean much younger. So in terms of aged care roles, absolutely. There's AINs, there's PCAs, there's PCWs. They all have different names. In Australia, you do like a Certificate 3 in individual support or Certificate 3 in aged care, and we classify them as AINs, PCAs, PCWs. Not quite in the disability community sector as yet.
Yeah, but of course the ACWA does cover aged care. Sorry to interrupt, Kelly. You can go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, because like I guess the difference between, and this might be just different definitions.
Yeah.
Across the board for disability, for us, that's quite often in the community. So that involves you having a car and a license and going out on your own and providing support and care, and that's a lot of responsibility. So we always recommend starting more so in the aged care space, because you're in an aged care home, you've got an aged care team around you, you've got a lot of support, and there's kind of less things can go wrong, if that's the right or wrong thing to say. But Thomas, I might be kind of getting the definitions a little bit culturally skewed here.
No, I think you're spot on, to be fair with you, because these are literally just definitions. And Jasmine, to answer your question, your skills assessment will allow you to actually work in aged care. So not to worry about that. Disability, and like Kelly said, that's another kettle of fish. Rather start in a home setting where, you know, everything is rather simple.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions? Can I get everyone's consent? Because I felt what Kelly was saying was really important regarding kind of making a brief summary or synopsis of yourselves as candidates, where we have your picture of yourself, kind of like your job description, what you've done, and something that we can send to the employers. Would everyone like be comfortable with us doing that on your behalf?
Did you have any questions or concerns about it?
Yeah. Oh, we've got a yes from Ivanesu. She consented to it. Just give me a moment. Yeah, we've got a yes from Teresa. We've got a yes from Grace. We've got a yes from Lolly, Samreen, Yeah, I believe everyone's like affirming that that's a good idea. Cindy, so just to let you know, your VetAssess skills assessment will be considered. So you've actually taken a positive step because you do need an assessment to be legally employed out in Australia. So Kelly, it looks like we've got a yes from most of the candidates because I believe it's beneficial for them to also get their profiles out there. I mean, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, and I think, look, if I'm honest, I've been on the other side of things. I've been a hiring manager in an aged care environment, and you do get a lot of emails and calls. And whilst we already have those established relationships and contacts, it is so good to have something concrete. I mean, I've even been in a position when I was on the other side of things, and there was an email sent to me saying, oh, candidate 1, candidate 2, candidate 3. I rang them straight up and said, tell me more about candidate 1. Within minutes of getting that email, and they said, oh, candidate 1's got a job. And I thought, did candidate 1 actually exist, or was this just a marketing ploy? So for us, we really want to connect, the real stories and the real people. And I think that will help us really break through some of that, that fear around the whole process. But, Thomas and his team are going to make it so easy, and we're here just to help things kind of bounce along, which is great.
Absolutely fantastic. Lolly asked, do we need any vaccines? Now, that's a bit of a technical one, obviously, since COVID. But I don't know in terms of Australia. Obviously, I'm based in South Africa.
Really good question, Lolly, because it has been a journey, can I tell you that? And every state, we've got 5 or so different states. I should know better. Queensland, New South Wales, Northern Territory, ACT, Victoria, Western Australia, South Australia, Tasmania. Every state during COVID had different rules, and even in the following years, they had different rules, and essentially employers can have slightly different rules. Right now, it's not mandated, so you don't have to have the COVID vaccinations, you don't have to have the yearly flu, but it's highly encouraged. So the Aged Care Commission has a lot of kind of steps that they want aged care providers, so your potential employers, to follow. So that might be offering free flu vaccinations at work, or, so I think, and there are some homes that prefer you to have the yearly flu vac. So look, it's right now, and that could change. If we have another little COVID outbreak or another type of outbreak, it could all change, and it can often, but right now, not mandated, just encouraged. And sometimes certain providers will have certain requirements. When we put that order through to New World Immigration with the details, who the company is, what the role is, where it is, so all that helpful information, we can include some of those, requirements that they also have.
Wonderful. I believe the last question we'll take would be for yourself, Kelly. I don't know if you can see Philip's question there.
So how long will be the contract from the employer and the contracted hours? So my understanding is it has to be full-time. It has to be full-time hours to come through the process. And it would be for the period of the visa. I think the goal for everyone would be love to keep you on board for forever. But, I think you have certain freedom after a certain amount of time. So it would be full-time work for the period of the specific visa that you come across on. Is that right, Thomas? Thomas is our expert.
Absolutely right.
I leave all that stuff to Thomas, if I'm honest. So
yeah, so it's absolutely right. But just to be more precise in terms of the duration of the work permit, so your 482 can essentially be given for either 2 or 4 years. That's depending on the employer. And of course, it is full-time. You do have to work those contracted hours full-time. It cannot be part-time.
Yeah. And look, every organization might be a bit different. Some organizations are a bit more flexible in terms of, any shifts, we'll adapt to them. We'll give them any shifts you want. And then there might be other employers that say, no, you need to be available on a rotating roster. So that might be working across, not more than 7 days, but, potentially working any day in a week, working any shift in a week. So that could be AM, PM, night shifts. So they're all a little bit different. And that's the kind of information we'll include when we put the order through.
Yeah. All right, guys, I think that will be us wrapping up this wonderful webinar. Kelly, do you have anything to add in kind of closing before we wrap things up?
No, just we're really grateful to partner with Thomas and his team. We're really excited about the future. We've spent a lot of time and investment and energy in really ensuring success moving forward. You know, it is a little bit of a process, but as Thomas says, you know, it could be 1 month, it could be 3 months, and then you'd be planning your trip to Australia and securing your accommodation and starting your next adventure. So it is really exciting, and I think, yeah, we've got all the right people together to make some great things happen, and I appreciate all of your time today.
Fantastic. Kelly, I echo your sentiment. And guys, like to say, I really love and appreciate the team that we've partnered with in Nurse Generation. I believe that are the ideal partner in terms of that track record, what they want to do in the industry. And we both sincerely look forward to assisting each and every one of you achieve your goal of working and living in Australia. And thank you so much once again for making this time, no matter where you are in the world. Really appreciate it. And have yourselves a lovely day further.